This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us. Our top story this evening, a popular event puts a new curfew to the test in Lakewood Ranch. Some say this monthly Music on Main event serves as a spot for kids and teens doing drugs, fighting, and using profanity. But can this new policy stop all the trouble? ABC7's Jess Dowdrick has that story.
According to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, a group of juveniles is responsible for setting fire to the Starbucks patio. The staff at Lakewood Ranch on Main Street says this is a perfect example of why they're putting this new policy in place.
There's groups of kids that they're not up to any good when they come here.
One woman describes witnessing a group of kids acting erratically at the same Starbucks that was set on fire. It was so bad that she says the barista had a meltdown.
Kids were vandalizing the bathrooms. They were just calling her name, so she couldn't take it anymore and she had to go in the bathroom. So I thought that was really sad.
While trouble can happen at any time, Lakewood Ranch staff notice it happening the most at the popular Music on Main events. And it doesn't go unnoticed.
Smoking e-cigs, doing drugs, all kinds of stuff. I mean, they do it right under your noses.
The solution? A new policy that says kids under the age of 16 must be with an adult after 6 p.m. on Main Street. The first Music on Main event since the implementation put that new policy to the test.
They've all been with adults, which is good.
I don't like it, but it's right.
The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is enforcing the new policy.
I don't expect police officers to be carding everyone every single time someone walks by. I've even noticed here walking around that there's obviously not a lot of police officers being, on patrol, which is honestly odd.
Teens not accompanied by adults are to be asked to leave or wait with an officer until their parents arrive, in hopes that something like this can be prevented in the future.
I feel like the kids should be more responsible with what they do. It's not right how they treat people like that.
The state fire marshal has confirmed that the 3 juveniles were charged with arson. Reporting in Lakewood Ranch, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Jess. Mote Marine Lab is getting the word out about a sea turtle that may be in trouble. Mote posting to the Facebook page these pictures of turtle tracks. Mote says by the look of the tracks, a sea turtle crawled onto the beach on Longboat Key to nest and got entangled in a beach chair. The turtle and the lawn chair are now gone, and Mote scientists fear that the turtle may have dragged the chair back into the Gulf based on these crawl marks. Mote Marine reminds people who live and stay at the beach to remove furniture at night. And if you see a sea turtle in distress, you are asked to call Mote's Strandings Investigation Program at 941-988-0212. And now for a check on our forecast, we're going to head over to Bob. And Bob, you were out at Main Street, Lakewood Ranch. It looked pretty calm, so hopefully the new policy worked out.
Yeah, it seemed calm to me. I'm always busy either at the booth or doing the updates on the live weather there. But I tell you, the storms are close to us. We had 3 or 4 close calls, and then they just kind of moved off to the north and east. So a real pleasant evening, and I was surprised to see as many people as I did as a result of that policy that has changed. And on top of that, we had, this is the out of season, if you will. A lot of strong thunderstorms usually around, also some very hot temperatures, so you wouldn't expect to see a lot of people there, but it was packed. Still some rain going on near Apollo Beach. You can see that along I-75 stretching northward, and then other showers scattered about in northeastern portions of Manatee County tonight, but not a lot going on near the coast. That's been the story today. Most of the storms have been well inland. We're going to see a return to those afternoon and evening storms, though, nearer the coast over the weekend. Currently, we have clear skies, still warm, 82 degrees. The dew point fairly seasonal, and winds are out of the northwest now at 5 miles an hour. The pressure on a slight rise at 30-11. We'll have the complete details in your weekend weather. Looking pretty good right now, and also a sneak peek at the tropics coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Venus Williams back on the court today, continuing her quest for a 6th singles win at Wimbledon. This is her lawyers at home were back in court, filing an emergency order in the civil lawsuit brought by the family of a man killed in a car crash involving Williams. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in New York with more details.
Venus Williams, winning and advancing at Wimbledon in London, is relying on her attorneys to stay on top of their game in Florida. The tennis star's lawyers back in court, along with the attorneys representing the family of Jerome Barson.
We're looking for a level playing field.
On Wednesday, a judge granted Williams an emergency order of protection, stopping the Barson family's inspection of her car and downloading of its data, arguing she was given less than 24-hour notice for the vehicle to be inspected and was concerned about the unintentional loss of data.
It seems odd to us that everyone wouldn't want the facts brought forth and brought to light.
But according to court documents, Williams' side says they just want to wait until all parties can be present with their experts. The lawsuit stemming from that deadly car accident last month that ultimately killed the 78-year-old Barson and severely injured his wife, Linda. The Barson family is now suing Williams for wrongful death. A police report originally described Williams as at fault, but on Friday, police released this new video showing the accident from a distance. Williams approaching an intersection on a green light, stopping to allow a car to pass, and when she continues, she is struck from the right after the light changed. As a result, police now say Williams entered the intersection lawfully. Police are still investigating, but at this time, Williams has not been ticketed or charged, and police say she was not distracted or under the influence. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
A local man is recovering tonight after an alligator attack in a pond at the Rotunda Golf and Country Club. Scott Lahodic was hired to dive for golf balls in ponds on the course. While diving, Lahodic was attacked, bit on the left arm by a 10-foot gator. Luckily, he was able to break free and get himself to safety, driving himself to the clubhouse and calling 911. That gator has since been removed from the area by a nuisance animal removal company. It will likely be euthanized.
Pretty active season right now. Whenever it's hot like this, the alligators get more active. I wouldn't say it's rare, but it doesn't happen a lot either.
Alligator mating season ended in June. However, they do still pose a serious threat to people, especially those who encroach on their territory. Local fishermen are gearing up for a busy day ahead. Beginning at sunrise, Mote Marine Lab's annual Lionfish Derby will kick off. Hundreds will take to the Gulf and hunt of lionfish. For years, the invasive species has taken a toll on native marine life. So in order to control the spread of the population, Mote holds an annual competition.
They can produce over 2 million eggs a year. The females can reproduce within 4 days again. So they are just swarming our reefs and eating all our bait fish.
There's a certain risk posed with catching the lionfish. They have 18 venomous spines on their backs that cause intense pain if touched. That's why hunters use spears to catch them, and a specially designed storage device called a zookeeper seen here. And after the competition on Sunday, Mote will host a tasting to show that not only are the fish catchable, they are also delicious. Sarasota County is asking for the public's assistance picking names for 3 environmental preserve sites. The sites, which are located adjacent to the T. Mabry Carlton Jr. and Memorial Reserve, protect 5,665 acres of native habitat. The land was purchased through the county's Environmentally Sensitive Lands Protection Program. On Thursday, July 13th, from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m., county staff will share maps and discuss the habitat of the land at the Sarasota County Administration Building. That's located on Ringling Boulevard in Sarasota. They'll be taking your questions and name suggestions. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the official Suncoast forecast for the weekend. Plus, Florida joins the battle against western wildfires in what may be one of the most active seasons in years. The long-awaited meeting between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin has finally happened. We'll see what was discussed.
ABC7, My Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch My Suncoast News wherever you are, on our live stream, on our newly redesigned MySuncoast.com, and a brand new ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, and dining with recipes and all the hottest Suncoast restaurants. Visit MySuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for iOS and Android.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at CaliforniaClosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you want 24/7 access to ABC7's breaking news stories, weather forecasts, traffic alerts, health reports, Suncoast View, and more ABC7 programming, now there's good news. Introducing the free ABC7 channel on Amazon Fire TV. Your 24/7 access to ABC7. Just search ABC7 on the streaming device and download the free ABC7 channel app. Or if you don't have an Amazon Fire TV, you can get one at Amazon.com.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new adventure. From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in. Tune in to Animal Outtakes to find out what they have to say. Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC7.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Bob, a steamy one, but a successful music on Main and Lakewood Ranch. Luckily, no storms. They held off, so that was great.
Sometimes that happens this time of year, quite frequently. So things looked pretty good for that. And looks pretty good for the weekend, most of the day, although we will start to see a return of those afternoon and evening storms, and lightning will be an issue near the coast, I think, as we push through the weekend. The Lakewood Ranch webcam showing the storms were really close to us. We had 3 chances of getting the rain, and then just kind of backed off, and that was kind of those storms as they moved off to the northeast and let the concert stay in play. As far as the pictures go, I want to show you this one. This was from yesterday. This was like the photo of the week, really. A double rainbow, a perfect double rainbow. What does it all mean? That's right, Maria Hilton getting this one from Nokomis Beach, and that's a nice shot there. Appreciate that. She sent that to me on our Twitter account. Satellite. Again, this was number 4. What happened was that dry air never allowed it to get going. So what's going to happen? The remnants of that will head in our direction in about 6 days from now or so, or 5-6 days from now, and we'll see a chance of some increased moisture Thursday and Friday of next week. But before then, we even get a little dry air on Wednesday. Titan radar picture showing just 1 or 2 lone showers still remaining at this hour. Most of the action has ended, but there wasn't a lot, and that's due to some dry air. It kind of settled in over the area, mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. You can see most of the rain was well inland. I talked to someone that lives at Palm Air. We're playing golf there. They had a pretty big downpour there out at Lakewood Ranch, he was telling me. And we had some showers well to the north and east of Venice and near Wauchula. So a lot of the activity was inland. Now the dry air I talked about, you see still kind of hanging on east of the Bahamas. Extremely dry air there. And then we're starting to get a little bit more moisture coming up from the tropics here. So that's the reason why I think we'll see a few more storms in the afternoon, and those will have a tendency to press toward the coast. And this is was tropical depression number 4. It's just now the remnant low of tropical depression number 4. You can see that dry air is kind of just in training or actually being absorbed into the system, weakening it considerably, but it will stay as an open wave and will increase our moisture supply by Thursday and Friday of next week, it looks like, as things move on. Satellite imagery showing a little trough of low pressure to the north of us, bringing some showers and some clouds from South Carolina through Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. 82 right now, dew point 73. Winds are out of the northwest at 5, and the pressure 30-11. It's fairly high. It continues to rise slightly right now, but warm temperatures because of the lack of rainfall. A lot of times the rain occurs and kind of cools things down. Rain cool there is really quite nice in the evening, and It hasn't happened today much. 90 the high, that's the average. 75 the low this morning, that's too the average. You don't see that very often. 100 degree, the record high set back in 2003. No rainfall to report at the airport. And the yearly total now 20.29 inches. Temperatures across the state into the upper 70s to low 80s now. 84 in Key West, 85 in Miami, and 78 now in Orlando. And temperatures around town into the mid 80s still at Mayaca City, Northport, Inglewood, and Venice. 82 at Sarasota. The water temperature a nice 91 degrees, and earlier today was at 92. It actually got up to 92 around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Hourly forecast calling for highs at the beaches into the upper 80s. It'll feel like more like 100 though for inland areas. Chance for showers comes late in the day, and the RPM forecast model showing things fairly quiet overnight. We're not anticipating any rainfall, but tomorrow afternoon a little bit better chance to see some showers and storms fire up along that sea breeze. Same story goes for Sunday. For boaters, winds will be light, as I mentioned, and seas running 2 feet or less. Mostly smooth in the bays and inland waters. The water temperature 91 degrees, and the upcoming tides for Sarasota Bay. The next high tide at 2:29. The low tide will be at 6:11. The forecast, a shower or two maybe offshore, otherwise partly cloudy, 77. And then tomorrow, 40% chance, a little bit better chance for those afternoon storms. And the extended forecast does call for a better chance again on Sunday through Tuesday. Drier air on Wednesday, and then some of that tropical moisture moves in Thursday and Friday. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Hundreds of people temporarily displaced after a massive fire at a 7-story apartment and shopping complex that was under construction in Oakland, California. The National Weather Service says the fire was hot enough to be detected from space. It sent a giant crane spinning, and fire crews were concerned it might collapse, so many area residents were evacuated. Fortunately, no one was injured.
When the crane takes on that much heat, it starts to spin.
Engineers are now dismantling that crane. The building was meant to be affordable housing for many families struggling financially in one of the most expensive areas of the country. Florida firefighters will soon head out west to help fight wildfires. 41 firefighters from the state are leaving tomorrow morning. The crews will fly to Salt Lake City, Utah, alongside 3 additional crews from Puerto Rico and Georgia. 5 Florida Forest Service personnel are already assisting in various positions throughout Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and Montana. It finally happened today in Germany. President Trump met Russian President Putin at the G20 summit in Germany. Their names have been linked in controversy for months. Accusations flying about alleged Kremlin connection to President Trump's election victory. So how did it go? Here's ABC's Brian Clark with the results of that face-to-face meeting.
Outside, protesters went head-to-head with police in the streets of Hamburg. Inside, Trump and Putin went face-to-face for the first time with much calmer results. The two shook hands twice, seemed to exchange pleasantries, and President Trump even had a pat on the back for his Kremlin counterpart.
President Putin and I have been discussing various things, and I think it's going very well. We've had some very, very good talks. We look forward to a lot of very positive things happening for Russia, for the United States. It's an honor to be with you.
Mr. Putin was equally gracious, saying he was pleased to meet President Trump, hoping their meeting would have positive results. Scheduled for 35 minutes, their private talk lasted 2 hours and 16 minutes. And what about that alleged Russian meddling in the U.S. election? Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says President Trump raised the charge and Putin denied it.
There was not a lot of relitigating of the past.
Президент Трамп сказал, что он слышал. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says President Trump accepted Putin's denial. The White House says that isn't so. The two presidents did agree on a ceasefire in southwest Syria and discussed what to do about Ukraine. No ceasefire, though, in the Hamburg streets as angry demonstrators fought another night of pitched battles with police. Brian Clark, ABC News, New York.
President Trump wraps up his G20 summit meetings tomorrow. A plane was forced to make an emergency landing at Miami International Airport this afternoon after reports of a fire in the plane's cargo section. The Swift Air charter flight was headed to Cleveland, Ohio from Kingston, Jamaica, with roughly 155 people on board. Officials say passengers and crew were disembarked and the plane was then inspected. Emergency responders gave the all clear for the plane to continue its flight. No injuries were reported. Sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
Here's what's happening on NBA Game Night. Take your time. Here we go. It is a big.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
ABC7's official Suncoast Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit. Download yours today at mysuncoast.com.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, sports.
The Tampa Bay Rays going into their game against the Boston Red Sox tonight in high spirits with news that pitcher Chris Archer has been added to the All-Star roster. But that high was short-lived. Top of the third, Mookie Betts drives the ball deep to center field. It goes over the head of Malik Smith and off the wall. Boston's Zhu Wei Lin scores. Then, top of the fourth, Boston's Jackie Bradley Jr. hammers the pitch deep to left field. That's gone. It's a 2-run shot. The Rays finally get on the board at the bottom of the fourth with Brad Miller's base hit to right field. Wilson Ramos is waved home and he scores. But that is not enough. 7-2, the Red Sox win. Cleveland Indians manager Terry Francona will not manage the American League All-Star team after a procedure to correct an irregular heartbeat. Team officials say the 58-year-old has been hospitalized and is undergoing testing after experiencing dizziness, fatigue, and a rapid heart rate. Francona is expected to return to managing the Indians following the All-Star break. Indians bench coach Brad Mills will replace him in the All-Star game, assisted by Rays manager Kevin Cash. Andy Murray faced Fabio Fognini today at Wimbledon. Let's pick up in the fourth set. Fognini ahead 5-3, but Murray rallying. He would break Fognini to reach 4-5 in the fourth. And then later in that set, Fognini buries a forehand in the net as Murray breaks again to reach 6-5 match point. Murray aces to win in 4 sets. That's a look at sports. We'll have our lotto numbers right after this.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, Eye Comfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
How long have we been married, dear?
For 76 years.
He was kind and generous to me before we married, and he was kind and generous to me all these years. We decided on Meals on Wheels because I was getting to the point where I couldn't do all the things that I had been able to do. We're the Spans. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
ABC7 News at 7 weeknights. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Actor Jeremy Renner says he fractured both of his arms doing a stunt in the filming of Avengers: Infinity War. He has fractures in his right elbow and left wrist. The Oscar-nominated actor, who's set to star in the next Bourne film, is taking the injury in stride. He says it will not affect his performance and that injuries are, quote, part of the job. A big milestone on July 11th, 7-Eleven is turning 90, and they are helping you cool off from the summer heat. The convenience store is continuing its tradition of having a free Slurpee party from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. There are some new additions this year, a cotton candy flavor, and reflective chrome lids and cups that are sure to shine on your Instagram feed, because we know that's what is important these days. And if you are really a Slurpee fan, you can download the app. You buy 7 Slurpees July 12th through 18th, and you get this, 11 free. Not a bad deal. Just get together with some friends, you know. 2 Toco toucan chicks are now greeting visitors at the San Diego Zoo, and they sure are cute. After spending 2 months in a nest cavity, They're now exploring their habitat in the Parker Aviary, with Mom keeping a very close watch nearby. This is the first time in 32 years this species has hatched at the San Diego Zoo. The staff says the pair is quite playful, especially during feeding time. The birds love to dine on fruit, including papaya and blueberries. Although the Toco toucan species is doing quite well, the San Diego Zoo participates in a species survival plan managed by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. They're so beautiful.
Yeah, Toco toucan.
Toco
I like
toucan.
That. Yeah, absolutely nice out there. And beautiful weather for us over the weekend. Looking pretty good there. Again, Slurpees. I look forward to that.
On the 11th. I guess that's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we're going to get our Slurpees. The cotton candy. I might try that one. Kind of sounds good. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.